Peace family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I want to do is I want to talk to my chosen ones about how you better not fall for it. Don't fall for it. We know how the media is. We know how these demons are. We know how they like to expose and extort situations, places, people, all kind of things out here. You know what I mean? The boat incident. Man. When I saw the boat incident, right? My first initial reaction when I saw the boat incident was like, I ain't gonna lie, it started making me a little warm, a little happy, excited on the inside. You know what I mean? Just, you know that feeling when you watch a really good happy movie and it try to make you cry or make them tears formulate? I ain't do no crying, but it made my spirit feel good, whether it was staged or not, just to kind of see, you know, people collectivizing for a bigger purpose. You know what I'm saying? And we see a lot of situations out here all the time where people is not standing up for anybody. You know what I mean? So regardless of everybody's background of that situation or whatever, or what happened, whether it was staged or not, it was a beautiful sight to see. You know what I'm saying? Everybody say they don't condone violence, but I ain't gonna tell you to do it, but I condone it. Simple process. I'm a fighter. I'm a warrior. It's what the fuck we do over here. You know what I'm saying? So somebody said once before on one of my old videos or comments, like, violence doesn't solve anything. Violence solves a lot. How you think lions protect their territory? If they were non-violent, then they would have every lion and their mama and daddy up in their territory, but that's not the case. You know what I mean? So what I wanted to say about this whole situation, outside of like looking at it from a brown perspective and from being as if it was an organic situation, made me feel amazing. On the flip side of it, because y'all know we spiritual warriors over here, right? And we look at everything in more in depth and on a deeper level. So taking this whole situation in on a deeper level, right? Look at all the signs that could have happened as a psyop, or as the media staged this, or the government system staged this. You know what I mean? What is the coincidences that it would be in Montgomery for one? What is the coincidence that the boat would be named Harriet Tubman for two? What is the coincidence that that boat that the white family was on, that was the only like non-commercial boat parked over there? And they literally, if you watch enough of the video footage and enough of the stories, you'll hear them saying that they had looped around several times. That was not supposed to be the case. You know what I mean? They wasn't supposed to have their ship/boat parked there. So I'm in Charlottesville. The last big KKK incident happened when the white girl got hit. That was in this town I'm in right here. This town, Thomas Jefferson town. So for me, I automatically was able to connect dots and put pieces together. The white girl that got hit here by the car, she got a whole street named after her. Niggas get killed every day. We don't get streets named after us. This situation that happened over here in Montgomery was kind of the same thing. The car that hit the white girl, Heather, in this town where I'm at, Charlottesville, hit the white girl. The car was allowed access by the police to drive through a certain part of downtown in order to even hit them, because everywhere else was blocked off. That was staged. This right here, you can clearly see a lot of signs that they are trying to rile up people's energy. And if you fall for it, then best believe you are going to be one thinking that this is a color-based war. Yes, it felt good to see some ignorant motherfuckers get the beaters put on them. But that don't make me want to go run around and knocking every white person head off that I see. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that this is deeper than color. This is not a color-biased war. This is a spiritual war. You know what I mean? So when you understand in these things, you have to look at all the signs and symptoms of something that's happening, because the media knows that we don't watch movies anymore. It's hard to program us with movies. So what they do is they have crisis actors and they have other kind of people that they hire to come in to do social experiments. Y'all remember when YouTube was jumping in 13, 14, 15? 13, 14, 15? It was a lot of people on YouTube doing social experiments, and they was using it, that name and title, as a way to go in and to mess with real people energy. You know what I'm saying? People was going around slapping people, social experiments, taking people food, social experiments, walking in stores, social experiments. This would not be any different. If you look at the footage, you never see police just lingering around allowing things to happen. That's not how it works. Police are reactive unless they're told to not be reactive. They got the one person with the chair, right? He only got because he wasn't in uniform or on cue with everything else. He was just a random pedestrian that actually went too far than what everything was staged. But what's crazy is people saying that he went too far, but it's like, it's a brawl. How can you say what's too far? You know what I mean? So I seen somebody get pushed in the water. They could have possibly not swim, and they could have drowned and died. That's worse than getting hit on the top of the head with that chair, which he didn't even put full force in. You know what I'm saying? It was just like a tap, like, I got you. You know what I'm saying? So, and female or not, you don't get your ass in the middle of no situation. This is what I be talking about, women in that masculine energy. You supposed to be in your divine femme and trying to settle the situation now, or get the fuck out the way. Stop trying to let your nuts hang all the time. This situation was an extreme case in order to create a race war or a riot, and just to create more friction. If y'all wasn't paying attention, you just had Just Hilarious and one of the guys pretending to be a girl. I will never call you transgender unless you got your meat chopped off or you got your lips chopped off. You're not a transgender. You're still a male, you're still a female. You don't like it, fuck it, oh well. You're gonna deal with it either way. You know what I mean? Your gender did not change. Transgender, you still have the same gender. It's all a manipulation spell. Whatever floats your boat for this society, just know that your genetics won't be moving on. So all of us now that get frustrated with that shit, there's no need to get frustrated. Everybody that's gay, trans, weird, whatever you call it, their generation ends with them. So that means our children won't have to bear any of that besides of their teachings. So that's why I say I'm not no homophobe. I don't get mad at trans or any of that shit, because y'all genetics die with y'all shit. That's how selfish motherfuckers are these days, but that's cool. Neither here nor there. But I say that to say, Just Hilarious was speaking up for feminine women, saying, who the fuck is gonna speak up for us real women? Basically, like, all the women keep saying that, oh yeah, transgenders, they're women. Oh, these gays, they're females, they're women. No, they are not. And Just, as a real female, stood up on it. That was creating friction, right? So now you look over here. We got the genders doing this. So now let's get the colors doing this. You know what I'm saying? So now they got it set up to where a whole white family just created a whole stage situation. And if you think about it, when the guy threw his hat up, when he threw that hat up, that was like a cue. You know what I'm saying? It's like a cue for everybody else. If you behind the scenes, like the Will Smith slap was staged. A lot of this shit is being done in front of us. And a lot of people are just so like lost in the sauce that they're gonna flow with anything. Anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't taking nothing away from the family, whether it was staged or not staged. Like, that shit just felt good to watch. I ain't gonna lie. But if you watch it too many times, you'll see that it's clearly staged. You can see things that are happening within these videos that are showing that this was a staged event. Why do you think it wasn't more people that didn't rush off of the boat? Why do you think that it wasn't more people that didn't rush from the sides? You had a couple people. All of it was staged though. You know what I mean? So like, for me to understand these things, especially when anything makes big media, if it makes big media, you have to understand there's a whole agenda behind it. Some things can happen organically, and then it just make it, and then the system takes it and rides with it. So the system follows. They take natural, real events, people, places, things, and then they put the witchy sauce on it, and then they push it out in front of you. So you'll see a real person. It's just like robots. They could make a robot out of all metal, but instead they make a robot and then try to put human skin on it. You can still tell. A lot of this shit goes as well too for what is happening right now. Don't get baited. Do not get baited. Don't get baited, man. How long have we been saying this shit is not color biased? In my mind, in my spirit world, I look at it as like this, right? We all have a bunch of different cultures, nationalities, whatever fucking words you want to use to make you feel better, right? But we all know for the most degree that the brown, the melanin, we all got the melanin, but the ones that's high in carbon and melanin, we all know that we was more so the first people here. We know that we are the stronger ones with more abilities. That's why they have to work so hard to manipulate us and to keep us down. So Spider-Man is still Spider-Man even if he goes to the bad team. I always use this because people make it feel like, oh, well, how did you... Well, if you're so wise and so knowledgeable. What happens is most of this brown culture, if you've been around it long enough, I don't care if you've been around the demons, you'll realize even with the demons, we still have more care in us. Long story short, you got the superiors and then you got the other ones down here. You know, just because a koala bear can't beat a grizzly bear doesn't mean that they cannot live in the same environment. You know what I'm saying? If we're the grizzly bears and they're the koala bears, we should still be able to take care of that culture as well too. You know what I'm saying? So clearly the white culture is just the easiest culture to manipulate, and they are easier to go with the flow. That culture, they are the lesser, weaker. So it's like when you take man and woman, even though they go together, we all know that the man is stronger physically in their spaces. Not saying the women ain't strong. The women have hella strength. I'm not taking away. I'm just saying when we put these two together and you look at it as a worldwide thing, I don't give a damn which culture you go to, they're all gonna perceive it the same way. It's no different than when you put two cultures together. You know what I'm saying? Some cultures is gonna be stronger than other cultures. That's why we all supposed to be here working together and vibing together. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't see anybody else that was kind of white out there that was like trying to get in the midst or break it up or siding with the brown people. Only white you saw out there was the family. That's it. It was literally a staged, organized like event to happen in front of people's eyes. So what they do is they are, I don't want to use that word. So what they like to do is they like to tell you what they're gonna do before they do it. So, you know, the last generation before us, Martin, Malcolm, all of them niggas used to be like, the revolution will be televised. This is their way of trying to televise a revolution. But we don't have beef with regular white people. Regular white people shouldn't even have beef with us. You know what I'm saying? So to even take it and look at it in that manner when clearly the white man pockets is getting hit, our pockets is getting hit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we in 2023. It is a different world out here right now. So if you still operating with that same concept of the witchy spells that they brought along and not following natural law first, because what happens is you always have to revert back to natural law. You saw what happened when the police wasn't inactive. Natural law took place. The women that got out of place, they got their ass whooped. No police was stopping it. This is why I say, y'all got to stop fucking rising y'all voice, y'all temperature, and doing these things to men. Like, I don't give a damn if you feel like you can beat him. You will never know what your divine femme is like because you are always being in that masculine. I feel like you got to say something or pretend to put your hands on somebody. Men are naturally stronger than you. Simple process. I don't give a fuck how fat you are, how big you are, how tall you are, how small you are. I don't give a damn how much weight you lift as a female. Damn. I seen 2 females in the video getting mollywopped. First they was getting beat by the women, but then I also seen one get hooked off by men. Don't put your ass in them kind of situations. Simple process, you know what I'm saying? Whether it was staged or not. Whether it was a staged event or not. You know what I mean? And a lot of people just out here walking around like zombies, not even comprehending what the hell is going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was these people filming, I would have been dead on the cops and everything that's happening around them to see how much of this did they just stage right in front of me. Cause somebody throw this hat this goddamn high, that's a cue. If you know what a cue is, that's like when somebody say cut or action or break. You know what I'm saying? It's a cue. The hat toss, you can call it the Bobby Shmurda. He's about to, but he wasn't dancing. That was not a Bobby Shmurda dance, you know what I mean? He threw that shit up there to cue to everybody that, you know what I'm saying, it's time to go. It's not, oh, I need help or it's time to fight. Just read the signs. Read the signs, read the signs. A lot of people were saying that the little guy who got in the water and swam, right? Which they saying he's underage and he probably was like mixed or Spanish or something, but everybody, that's why they won't show his face. They won't do all these other things. They want to savor his identity and all this other shit. Is like, but y'all charge minors as an adults. But then you take special situations for yourself and where you feel like, okay, well, now I want to hide his face. But if he killed him, then I will show his face and charge him. Like, come on now. Come on now. We have to use our common sense, man. I hate watching this shit or seeing these things and just seeing how dumb everybody is. How dumb everybody is. Y'all talking about Marcus Garvey and all this other shit. These niggas won't doing shit. Fuck Marcus Garvey. Fuck all them niggas that was back then not doing shit. That was just running around in the money ain't doing shit. You don't see a whole town or city designated to fucking Marcus Garvey. He didn't fucking have his own land and building shit and doing all these other things for people. Like, oh, the ancestors would be proud. For what? Why would the ancestors be proud? That don't even make sense. What would they be proud of? Thousands of people sitting on the boat watching while these people are whipping their ass when y'all could be boycotting and knocking down some of these businesses. The ancestors would be proud if you boycotted Walmart. You boycott Target. You boycott Starbucks. Like, the fuck is you talking about? I've been fighting my whole life. I never thought of an ancestor being proud because I fucking whooped somebody's ass or stood solid for somebody. Nigga, that's my job. That's my job. Fuck is y'all talking about? This how you know people don't really be out in the field. People ain't really out here in real lifetime. You know what I mean? Like, what I mean being out here in real lifetime, you don't have to be at all the events and venues. But when you leave your house for your day-to-day life, you should be in that same energy. I'm in this energy whether I'm on the camera or off the camera, goddammit. It don't make no difference to me because I'm not getting no bag from this big enough to say, hey, you know what? You don't get to work anymore. You don't have to grind anymore. You don't have to doing these things over here anymore. No. We all still getting censored. Y'all know that a lot of videos got removed from TikTok of that situation because they're trying to figure out how to control the narrative more. You know what I mean? So whether they control the narrative or not, if you want to show that you have some real power or authority, show your self-discipline and stop going to these stores. Pick a fucking store and boycott it. Hit they pockets. They're hitting yours. The same people who's out there whooping ass, I bet you that they was using rent money and borrowed money and extra money or just their extra funds that they could have probably fucking had to go out there. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't something that was super extravagant, lavish, man. Like, I'm just not easy as a being to be convinced with the okie doke. You know what I mean? You're not just gonna hit me with the okie doke and think that, oh, okay, well, because it did make me feel good, rile me up a little bit. That's what they do with movies. You know how many times I don't watch movies when I was younger and then got a little scared, or as I got older, they got jumpy scenes in it and I react to it, but that's not what I'm really doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not really like scared, but the situation in my spirit world being locked in, it created it simulated that same energy and motion, you know what I'm saying? So man, it's a lot of zombats out here, you know what I'm saying? I love seeing people get together and collectivize, you know what I'm saying? And like somebody did say, there wasn't no violence, like no guns, no stabbings. So that's how you kind of know that a lot of this shit was staged. Like, I've been around a lot of fights, leaving clubs. I've been in fights, clubs, parks, hoods, schools, stores, gas stations. I done basically had fights, been around fights in almost every location you can possibly think of. When people are jumping people and they really want to cause harm to them, it's usually somebody who's not going to be moving afterwards. If you notice, they all did just enough damage so everybody was still okay. In my mind, the first thing I thought of was that old TV show Jackass, where white people just used to do a bunch of weird shit. Then you got, what's that shit called? It's some other show that was coming on MTV. They had the white guy and the white girl, and they had the black guy. They was all sitting on the couch, and they would show like extreme things happening and stuff or whatever. But it's like, to me, I know that people are willing to take a certain amount of pain. Boxing, UFC, a lot of these sports is rigged. People will get in the ring and take a fucking ass whooping for a big check. I hope y'all know that. There's people who get in the ring and they will take a ass whooping for a $50,000 check, $100,000 check, $500,000 check. People fighting Mike Tyson, saying he was knocking people out with the wind. It was weird. I used to believe until I realized, they kind of got me, and I stopped. No, it's not how it works, you know what I'm saying? People will get a real ass whooping for the bag. You know what I'm saying? They know they're gonna heal up. 2 black eyes, you good. You know what I'm saying? That could be fixed in a matter of a couple days, 2-3 weeks at the longest. You know what I'm saying? And now you sitting there with 50,000, 200,000 in your account, all because you was okay with taking an ass whooping. I gotta look at the signs and the symptoms. Follow the clues. You know what I'm saying? Y'all watching it from one vision. If you watch something multiple times, try to watch it from a different vision, a different angle, a different perspective. You know what I mean? Because it's going to have you being able to see things on a broader insight. You know what I'm saying? You get a broader vision of it. So, like I said, for me, I know better than to fall for the okie doke. It did feel good because we already know that shit do be happening. There's some ignorant fucking people out here. It's ignorant white people, it's ignorant brown people. But we already understand as brown people that the ignorant white people are gonna have to get it first. You know what I'm saying? You cannot still be in that space in 2023. You know what I'm saying? You can be. If you do, you're gonna have to pay for it. But that wasn't no give love and respect and shout out to the ancestors. That shit was weak as fuck. That shit was weak. What y'all should have did, what we could have did all together collectively, was pick the fucking store to boycott. Start somewhere. That's all you gotta do is say, all right, fuck, I won't go to Target anymore. I'll just only go to the Dollar Tree. You know what I'm saying? Set a time span. All right, y'all, we not fucking with Target for 6 months, for a year. You know what I'm saying? We gonna wait till 3 or 4 Targets close, and then we'll see what's going on from there. Like, it's plenty of other methods than, oh, I kind of jumped up and beat somebody down, and then that kind of worked. That energy is good. I'm not against that energy. But that ain't something that should be like, once again, it's just showing that we ain't going for that kind of shit, whether it was staged or not, or whether that really was us out there in them streets, you know what I'm saying? But it shows that we still know what time. Oh, back up, Nick. We still know what time it is with that physical damage. These wasps was crazy. Look, I'll be out here, but don't make it. Look, I'm gonna leave it at that. These bugs run this out here. You know, I'm just gonna get out their way. I know I'm in their space or whatever, but look, you have to be in tune, man. You have to be in tune. You cannot open up one social media right now without that shit being posted or plastered somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Oh, look at Becky, look at the family, look at this, look at that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, cool. But that was one family. You know how the movie Get Out? That was one family. doing all that damage. It's one family. You know what I'm saying? And people said they're family. You don't know if they made that Facebook page or made all of them profiles before this whole situation happened. They could have made all of them profiles last year or the year before because they knew that this Harriet Tubman boat was going to be in Montgomery around this time, and that's the perfect time to stage an event so we can get black people riled up. Come on, man. Come on, man. This shit's too obvious out here. This shit is way too obvious. We wiser than that over here, you know what I'm saying? We way more intelligent than that over here. You're not going to be out here trying to help and heal the world, but then you trying to make it a color bias war. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got nothing to do with color. You know what I mean? Niggas that look like me that I don't like, that I will swipe left on right away, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about that color on the outside. To a small degree, I got to tap in and see what your energy is like. What are your vibes like? You know what I'm saying? Because that's going to show me everything. Are you using this God and the Creator playbook? Or are you over here using this demonic playbook? You know what I'm saying? Like, just want everybody to be aware and mindful and not to just allow them to rail you in. You know what I mean? We don't watch movies anymore like talking about it. So they have to figure out another way to control our minds and to control the narrative. What easier way to control the narrative than to create real situations in real lifetime? Because now we don't have to pretend and fake them in real life. Now we can create them in real lifetime. You know what I'm saying? So just be mindful and be aware, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it was real, much peace, love, and salute, you know what I'm saying? Because if I was out there, I most likely would have definitely got down to seeing one man getting dogged out like that, you know what I'm saying? And to be honest, I seen a lot of fights, man. It really wasn't that bad. Like, you see a lot of arms flailing and a lot of animation out there, but it's really no damage, you know what I'm saying? Like, the old white man got choked and was getting punched, but they was like baby punches. It wasn't real like a hard choke to pass him out or anything. It was just a whole lot of stuff it seemed offsetting to niggas and females who have been into fights their entire life or know what it's like to be in fights. You know what the real situations look like, and you know how quick they get shut down when the police are around. The police don't just lollygag and let them happen and wait till, okay, we're gonna let this go on until about 4:16:38. And at 4:16:37, that's when the dude hit the girl and the guy with the chair, and now he's the one of the few that's being arrested. You know what I'm saying? But come on, man, we way more sharper and more knowledgeable than that. You know what I mean? I gotta keep reiterating, if it's real, much respect to everybody that jumped off and was about that life. You know what I'm saying? And I would say that's a lot of trust to be on that boat with that many niggas and no weapons. Hey, if y'all seen how big that Harriet Tubman boat was and all them niggas up there, that's a lot of niggas to have no weapons. Not one knife, not one fork, like not a weapon, not... I think somebody said somebody got maced, right? But that was probably one of the females. Which is wise. All of you females should have some mace, some blades, some knives, some guns if you allowed to carry. If you're not allowed to carry, figure out somebody who can keep some in the cut for you. Like, you got to keep yourself protected out here at all times, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all are no longer moving from daddy to husband. Y'all are moving from household to the streets. Y'all moving from household to the streets. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't have that protection no more. That's why most men, when they see females struggling with tires, bags, cars, doors, all these things, we don't care to help. We don't care to help. The thing is, if we saw y'all in a community and we knew your husband and your brothers and shit, that would be different. I guarantee you all men would be more willing to help you. But because we don't know what kind of demon time you on, your tire flat, but I don't know who you just did some witchy shit to. You could have just did some witchy shit to somebody while you have a flat tire, and then you feel like, oh, men are not out here protecting us. Men are not helping me with this. Nobody gives a fuck. You're supposed to have a man. When you have a man, men respect you more when you have a man. Real men do. Real men will respect you more when you have a man. Real men will respect you more when you have a man. When you have a husband, when you have a leader. I don't give a damn what title you put on, because we're in a Western society where titles just get thrown around like a deck of cards. You know what I'm saying? So just be mindful of all these things. You know what I'm saying? If it was real and organic, much peace and love to everybody that was out there. Y'all did the damn thing. You know what I'm saying? And I got a lot of love for y'all. But if it was a bunch of agents and it was all staged, just know that y'all on some fuckery. And for people that's not around to really see it for what it is and to try to expose it, then y'all on some fuckery too. Y'all should know damn well this is not color bias or base war. It's a spiritual war. You know what I'm saying? So don't let them rail you into that old fucking Harriet Tubman shit. You know what I'm saying? Once again, Harriet Tubman. Like, god damn. It's weird to see that they gonna be like, oh, men and women was together more back then, but then they don't talk about Harriet Tubman having a husband. She just was this solo mission woman that just ran around doing all this shit. Like, I don't believe that either. I do not believe that either, okay? I don't give a fuck what kind of history they put out about this shit. I don't trust the system. I don't trust the system, you know what I'm saying? But I go on and on about this shit because it's wicked. Tapping everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.